What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we have some brand new news about the typical developer's game called Untitled Game. Yes, it still doesn't have a name yet, but we are now one step closer to having a name. If we go straight to the Trello, we have some shocking signs. It's a shock all around, but everything's disappeared. It's all going to be redone. The Trello is going to be more advanced and stuff like that. But if we go on to the announcements, we have a couple new announcements. So, the other day, we had a message from Hoover that says, "Hey all, I'm here with another good old progress report from your old pal, me." First and foremost, I would like to state that our Trello is being redone. Just said that. Secondly, we are currently working on an outlining document for the game. This helps both us and the community understand what we actually want the game to be. Lastly, more information on the game name voting. We are not sure when we are going to hold this vote, but we want to try and get it done after we have our outline document completed. Sorry for the delay on this. We want everything involving such an important note on the game to be important. A lot of this work that has been put into this game has been done in our spare time, and we want to make a game that interests ourselves. This isn't a job. This is just a hobby. The next main message from Hoover, it says, "Hello everyone, I'm back with an update on my previous announcement. My main topic for this announcement is specifically the outline statement for the previous one. I have some exciting news. It's complete, so I'm here to share it all with you." Okay, so the outline documents are complete. The game isn't complete, the outline document is complete. This outline is an extensive document and it is good for a reason. To put it simply, I want it to cover everything. I think it's important that people actually understand what the game is, what our goals are, and just more general information that people may want. I appreciate everyone's patience thus far. It's been exciting working on something this big, and I don't have any dates on when it could be released, but we do have the motivation to work on it in our free time, so they are actively working on it. And then below, we have a link. If we go to that link, it takes us to a Google Documents webpage. It is a very, very weird webpage that isn't really designed for mobile. So if you have a PC, it's probably the best to use a PC on this. But here is a screenshot on screen right now of what it looks like for me. So I'm just going to read it out to you. I'll read a couple things out and you're just going to have to imagine it's in a format like that. That is really hard to read. So the first thing we've got is the Untitled Game Conceptual Outline. This outline was updated on the 28th of the 12th, 2021 at 4 PM Eastern Standard Time. Table of contents. The game and overall concept. The game's overall theme is based on an open world sandbox discovery game, using your exploration skills to obtain resources, obtaining machines, or process or customize said resources, as well as building your unique structures to express your sandbox creativity in general. First time playing. When playing on a fresh/blank slot, for the first time you will be placed into a cutscene, where this cutscene will begin with you following a cargo plane with a hatch on the bottom. The airplane will drop 3 packages, one containing the player, the second containing a piece of paper, and the third containing a wooden starter tools. All the packages will be sustained in the air with a parachute, allowing for a slow fall. The 3 boxes will hit the floor and a prompt to press the primary unbox keybind, which is E, will be shown. When the button is pressed, the box containing the player will explode into cardboard pieces, allowing the player to have primary movement capabilities. Once the unboxing of the player sequence is complete, a glowing arrow will appear above the player box with the note, in an attempt to inform the player of what's inside. Tutorial system. So yes, there may be a tutorial system in the future, but they don't have any plans for it that I know of. Development progression basically goes on to say about how they're busy and that they'll work on it when they have time to. But then again, everyone's busy. Release date information. There is no set release date, so anyone asking, there is no set release date. Resource collection. Having resource collection within the game is a vital mechanic for ensuring that there is a sandbox experience. All resources within the game must have a draggable functionality, allowing the player to move it in some way. Wood is obtainable through finding trees and chopping them down, different variants within. Let me just put on screen right now what I'm trying to read. Land claiming and building. Land claiming within the game is relatively simple to understand. Each player will be able to purchase one main plot, which will be able to be expanded. The main plot size is bigger than the expansion. The main plot size is bigger than the expansion plots and automatically comes cleared of any grass. So we're going to be able to have grass that we can clear up and stuff. That's pretty cool. However, in the future, we may allow players to purchase multiple plots within different regions. That's amazing. That is so cool. I've not seen a game that actually allows you to have multiple places. The only concept with multiple plots is, of course, performance, which will need to be tested. Now, obviously, if there's a way, they may restrict very, very old devices. So if you play Roblox on, let's say, the very first Apple iPad or something, it may not work for your device and it just won't work. But for everything that they add, it takes away performance. So unless there's a neutral balance to performance and features, we're going to have issues. So these issues will be ironed out eventually to keep that balance, but the balance straight away will be uneven. But they'll have access to testers which will do all that for us, so we don't really need to say it. There's also stuff like trees, bushes, and rock. Blueprints will still be able to be placed on the grass. Trees will be able to be saved within the land as long as it is one singular section and no other sections attached to it, also known as a log. So you get I'm putting it on screen right now, but them big massive things you put in the big massive lorries, the big massive tree logs, the really big long ones. You don't really have anything sticking off of them because it'll hit other cars, wouldn't it? The most efficient way is to have them long in one direction and not having branches stick off every other direction. That would be the most efficient way. Player-made machineries and structures. One of the most important features for processing resources and building on land is structures. Structures serve two purposes: decoration and productivity. As previously stated, machineries and structures cannot be placed on the grassland. However, blueprints can be. Machinery. The one core system for processing all of your useful resources. The one thing that makes machinery unique is their need to run off of power. Now, just because they all run off of power does not mean it needs a battery hooked up to it. Some generic machines can come with built-in hand cranks, allowing you to produce power easily using the form of kinetic energy, that's the one, kinetic energy. So basically, you'll be able to pump up your own energies into some sort of batteries. Maybe you'll be able to run for 5 minutes on the spot, do some AFK farming energy sort of thing. Electricity system. Electricity is one of the important ways of making our machinery generally function. Similar to the electrical system in the game Rust, some machines produce an electrical output of a fixed amount. This fixed amount limits you to how many machines or systems you can power. While there is not much yet known about how this system works quite yet, there is still a lot to be added and changed. Farming integration. Farming is required in order to have a way to produce one of the main resources, agriculture. The farming system in itself is still very early and in a conceptual design and needs more discussion as well as the community input. I would like to see a way to make a cake. If we can make a cake in the game, that'd be an epic thing. Okay, that's all I want to see is a cake. The main idea is that each slot save will contain a specific money currency. This money will be tradable and the main source of economy within the game and the main source of economy inside of the game. However, as previously stated before, we may want to add another sort of currency. This currency would be a global currency which is not limited to your save slot. It can be earned in 3 different ways: quest, daily rewards, and Robux. Purchases is final. Robux purchases. Nothing is final with this, but it could be an interesting way to add a new sort of currency. Now, as long as there is multiple easy ways to get it inside of the game, I do not see an issue with having a way for you to buy another sort of currency. I wouldn't mind doing that as long as I can get it easily inside the game. Not easily, but a little harder, but easy. Okay, so like the daily quest, great idea. Maybe there's like a weekly quest that only happens once a week, and maybe there's like a free monthly event that happens every 3 months that could get you something, that could get you some rewards and stuff for attending. Who knows? Could be anything. The fluctuating market. Having a very fragile economy, it would be interesting to make it even more chaotic. How we may do this with our resources having unique values, we could be able to make these values fluctuate. So like supply and demand. If you're producing too much stuff for one thing, there's too much supply of it, so there's less demand of it. But if you're producing a little of one thing and people want more of it, that is called high demand, so the price of it will be a lot higher even though you have a lot less. Some games, actually most games, actually try and do this and they fail, with a very few amount of games that actually have succeeded with this. So like this is a really good way of like having some sort of entertaining aspect, so you're not doing the same thing all the time. The fluctuations would reset after a certain amount of time, giving everyone a blank slate of sorts. The main concern is that The main concern is that with this feature is abuse. Players could maliciously affect the market to ruin the experience of players, so we may need to consider other ways to prevent this. Like I said, supply and demand. Player permissions. This is an interesting one because everybody wants to know what you can and cannot do on other people's stuff or to other people's stuff in general. So having a trust system amongst other players is important for having a safe environment. A good way to make sure people do not fall for malicious attempts at causing problems with other users. Having a lot of options as well, customizations, heavy combat said malicious acts. So what I would think, although my opinions don't really matter at this specific point, it's just I'm making a video for you guys, but what I think would be good if there is a way to make other players invisible unless you're in a location that needs to have other players active. Like an option to turn it off unless it needs to be on. That'd be cool, right? Trust and blocking players. Both trusting and blocking players is important for having a good experience within the game. Trolls will be trolls, and we must take precautions to prevent the problems before it becomes a genuine problem. For trusting users, there will have to be multiple options that the player can choose. As previously stated, the more options, the more safer we can have it. So, do you remember if anybody played Minecraft Xbox One Edition or Xbox 360 Edition? You can go and you can adjust the settings of what everyone can do, such as pressing buttons. You can open doors, you can open chests, you can break and mine blocks. They were all specific permission requirements that you could turn on and off at any time, which I think is what could be added into this specific system. Tool usage. Tools are one of the ways of obtaining resources throughout the map. They have different abilities and perks, and there will be a crafting system to make different tools. Of course, tools are the best way to collect the most resources compared to the other systems that may be in place in the game. Crafting system. Crafting is an important way to craft some of the advanced resource tools. Whilst it's not yet known how this will fully be achieved, a way that will allow this to be automated will be for the game design. So basically what that's saying is you'll be able to adjust your own settings, I believe. However, it shouldn't be a requirement that you have to automate systems. Not everyone is interested in automation, which is a very important factor to consider, and a lot of thought has to go into these kind of systems. which is a good thing, because if everything gets so automated to the point where you're doing nothing, then you're not really going to want to play. You'll find it kind of boring. Discovery tools. Not only are there tools for resources, but there are tools that provide an informational discovery perk. For example, a compass, a simple tool with a simple purpose that can help you navigate around. Unlike most other tools, these sorts of tools can be only obtained through stores and will not be able to craft it in any other way. And now, if you've made it all the way to the end of this video, I've got some codes for you. You've got a little challenge. So at the bottom of this entire document, I've just read the entire document, give or take a couple paragraphs, but there is this entire code right here. I don't know what the code is for, but there's a code. What your job is to go and use this code and find out what you can do with it, because this code wasn't put here by accident. So there is a reason for this code, and I'd like you to go and find out what it is. I'm also going to be doing the same thing, but I'm not going to be making a video about it. I will keep you guys updated inside my Discord if you guys are interested in this stuff. But that's going to be it for this video. That's everything on... Oh, wait, no. There is another thing. There is another thing. Binary code. We actually decoded one of the things. There was another code, and we decoded it. I was also decoding it at the same time, but Brad, thank you for decoding it faster than me. It says very, very, very soon, basically. If we go over to my Discord right now and we scroll up, we are seeing a lot of binary code being added right now. Okay, so we also have a lot of binary code as well. So this binary code, if we go over to rapidtables.com, and we are able to convert this code into English, basically. This code says, and we convert it, it says it's now soon. It's like very soon. Like very, 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 very soon, right? I think so. That's what it's saying. It's now soon. But then again, we've seen people say soon and it still be a couple months. So please do take this with a bit of grain of salt. Soon can be any time. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be next month. It could be next year. Soon. But other than that, the code I've put on screen for you, that is the code. It's also in the description if you guys want to go and copy and paste it, if you can do that somehow. But that is the code that you guys have been given from me. And yeah, go do some hunting. Go find out what you guys need to do. But that's it for this video. If you did like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. If you want to see more videos like this from me in the channel, then make sure to turn the notification bells on. That way, you get up to date whenever I upload a video like this on the channel. I thought I should do a video on this one because it is a kind of sneaky one, isn't it? Very well done. That's a style that I've never seen before, typical developers. It's like allowing the community to figure it out. Great job. Great job. I love it. Anyway, guys, I shall see you guys in the next one. Bye.